This website is beautiful, and we're going to learn how to make it step by step with no steps skipped. We're going to be using the best and most popular platform, which is WordPress, and it's used by Fortune 500 companies and some amazing artists. We're going to be using the best and most popular theme, which is Astra, and the best page builder, which is Elementor, so that your website really makes a splash. We're going to start with this beautiful blank design that you can convert into anything. You can make something like this, or you can make something like that. This one is really amazing. The key to making a website is to keep it simple. First, we're going to get your website name. Then we're going to install WordPress. Then give your website a great blank starting point. Then you can change anything like the text on your website or the images. You can change all of the fonts. You can swap around columns. And you can even add a video. You can make that video into a video background. You can create any different pages that you want and easily add blank designs. Then you can edit it however you want. And we can edit your contact page so people can get in contact with you. And we can add a map to your contact page. Then if you already don't have a logo, I can teach you how to make one. And you can learn how to insert it right into your website. Then I'll show you how to make your website responsive so that it works on all devices. And that's pretty much it. Then you'll know how to make a website. But maybe we want to know the most important thing, how much everything is going to cost. There are 4 potential costs: your domain name, hosting, WordPress, and creating your website. Your domain name is the same thing as your website name. Google's domain name is google.com, my domain name is tyler.com, and yours will probably be yourbusiness.com. A domain name is the same thing as your website name, and that costs about $18 for the entire year. But I'll show you how to get a much better discount than that in just a second. Next is hosting. What is hosting? Hosting is a computer that's on 24/7 that has super fast internet. And what it does is it stores all of your website information like the text and the images so that someone can actually see your website. If you only had a domain name or website name and no hosting, then someone can visit your website, but your website would come up blank. And that's because you need a place to store all of your images and files and everything like that. Hosting costs about $10 per month. But again, I'll show you how to get a great discount on that also. The next thing that we have to do is install WordPress. WordPress is a content management system, which is just a fancy way of saying it helps you manage your content. So instead of having to learn how to code, it does everything visually. Luckily for us, WordPress is open source and it is free. The next thing that we're going to do is create your website. This would have cost thousands and thousands of dollars, but since you're doing it yourself, this is also free. So in total, with all the discounts and everything else, your website is going to total under $30 for the entire year, which I think is an amazing deal to have your website spread across the entire world. So let's do steps 1 and 2, get your website name and hosting. And luckily we can do that at the same place. So all we have to do that is to open up a new browser and go to hostgator.com. That's hostgator.com and press enter. I get a commission for recommending HostGator, but I've been using HostGator myself for 19 years and recommending them on YouTube for 15 years. I can't believe it's been that long. I really like them because of their 24/7 live help. I usually don't call them. If I ever have an issue, I usually just live chat them. But there are thousands and thousands of hosting companies, and obviously I haven't tried all of them. A lot of them will work and install WordPress just fine, but I really like HostGator. They're super good. To get your website online, all we have to do is hover over hosting, and you would think that we would choose WordPress hosting because we're making a WordPress website, but really we can just choose web hosting. It's actually cheaper and it has everything that we need, and we can always upgrade later. So once we do that, we can go to this page and we can scroll down and we can see that the hatchling plan is $3.75 a month, but there's a way to get a much better discount. And if we go up here and go to hostgator.com/unlock, UNLOCK, and press enter, then that will unlock the biggest discount. And if we scroll down, we can see that that price changed to $199 a month. And we can see these 3 different plans here: the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. The business plan is just way too much stuff. We definitely don't need it for our website. And we can always upgrade later if we do need it. So it definitely is between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. The main difference is the hatchling plan offers 10 websites and the baby plan offers 20 websites. The baby plan also offers phone support. If that's important to you, then you can go with the baby plan, but I personally never use the phone support. I've only done live chat. So I'm just going to go with the hatchling plan because, again, you can always upgrade later. Then it's going to ask you to register a domain name. This is the same thing as your website name. If you already have a domain name, you can press on this button and then enter in your domain name right here. Maybe you bought your domain name from GoDaddy and it's already registered. You just type it in here. But today I'm registering a new domain name, so I'm going to uncheck that. And down here, you can put in your domain name. I'm just going to put in learnhowtocreateawebsite.com. You can also put in like .net or .org if you're a nonprofit, but .com is definitely the most popular. And then we can press search for domain. If your domain name is not available, it will alert you. Sometimes you have to try a few different ones in order to find one that is available. You're pretty lucky if yours is available on the first try. And we can see right here it's $86.56, but we can make this much lower. Make sure you've added unlock so you can get the biggest discount. And if you don't see it, you can just add promo code right here. So over here, the basic strategy is the shorter amount of time that you commit for, the least you'll pay up front, but you'll end up paying the most amount in the long run. And if you commit to longer up front, the least you'll pay in the long run, but the most you'll pay up front. I think the perfect blend of paying the least amount up front and saving the most amount in the long run is 1 year. This is also because at 1 year, you get the website name for free. So I think that's the best balance between everything. Now we can see our price has gone down to $42.42, but we can save even more. We can go down to domain privacy protection. Domain privacy protection is basically when you register a website, your contact information like your email and phone number are out there for people to get in touch with you. But sometimes this can be annoying because you get spam calls or spam emails. And so sometimes you may want domain privacy protection, but in the spirit of saving the most amount of money, I'm going to press this little delete icon and then press remove from cart. And that makes it go down to $27.47. But just know that I might get some spam calls or spam emails. Next, it's asking us if we want professional email trial. And this costs $0 right now, but it's going to cost $2.99 next month. And your website already comes with basic email, so I'm just going to delete this also. But if you do want professional email, I think they use Google for their email, then that could be a good idea. All right, now we can check out everything. Then you can press continue to checkout. Then it's going to ask for your information like your first name, last name, country, address, city, state, and zip code, and your email and phone number. Then you can check or uncheck if you want to receive emails from them. And you can enter your password and confirm your password. I'm sure everyone knows how to do this. Then if we scroll down for payment options, we can either use credit card or PayPal, and we can put in our credit card number and that little security code. Then we can put in our expiration date right here. And don't worry, this isn't my real credit card number. Then we can review everything. That's looking pretty good. I think for about $30 for the entire year to have a website that spreads across the entire internet, I think that's a super great deal. So after we reviewed everything, we can click on submit payment. So congratulations, you've probably done the hardest part, which is just deciding that you want a website and doing something about it. Sometimes right after you sign up, there's a big button that says install WordPress, so you can just go ahead and click on it. If you don't see that button, all you have to do is go over to websites right here. And I have a whole bunch of websites, but you probably only have one, so just find it and click on settings. Then to install WordPress, all we have to do is click on Settings one more time. Then we can scroll down and we can press Install WordPress. If you ever have to remove WordPress, we can do it in the same location. Once we click on it, it's going to give us this box right here. Click on the checkbox and click Install WordPress. Now WordPress is installing, so we're just going to give it a minute. And with the magic of editing, I'm just going to speed this up a little bit, but it could take a couple of minutes. Once our website is ready, we can find our website and just click on Settings. And if we scroll up a little bit, we can see this Edit WordPress site, and this is going to allow us to log into our website. And all we have to do is click on it. Once we do that, it's going to show us this welcome screen, but I think their way of making a website isn't very good. I just want to start off blank and clean and fresh. So let's just click Exit to WordPress. Then let's just click on Exit one more time. And let's close this. We don't need this anymore. And let's click this little arrow button to expand it. And after we do that, we can click on Dashboard. So this is the dashboard. This is the back end of your website. This is where you can make all of your changes as the owner of your website. The first thing that I want to show you how to do is how to log into your website. Right now, in order to log into your website, you have to go through the hosting company. But really, you should be able to log into your website directly without using the hosting company. And in order to log in, we need to know our username and password. So all we have to do is go down to Users right here, and we can see our username right here. You might want to write this down, but it probably is just your name. And then to set our password, all we have to do is click on our username. Then we can scroll all the way down and press Set New Password. I'm just going to hide this so I don't get hacked by the internet. Then highlight it and delete it so that I can type in my new password. After we're done with that, we can scroll down and press Update Profile. So now that we know our username, which is up here, and we've just created our password, we have enough information to log in. So let's go ahead and press Log Out. And now we can remove all of these things right here. So it just says ourwebsite.com. And now we can see our website. So this is the front end of our website as our users would see it, but the website is not that great. Some people would charge you $500 just to get here with just setting you up with a basic website, but obviously that's ridiculous because this is super easy. So let's log in and make this way better. To log into our website, all we have to do is go to ourwebsite.com/WP-admin. The way to remember that is WP stands for WordPress and admin stands for administrator. Now we can enter in our username and password. So I hope you remember that or you've written it down. If you haven't, you can always press this lost password down here, but let's just type in our username and password and then we can click on login. So now you've logged into your dashboard or the back end of your website, which is where we can change everything to make your website great. Next, let's talk about plugins. What are plugins? If we go to plugins right here and we click on it, we can see all of these different plugins that are installed on our website. So a plugin is like an app on your phone or a program on your computer. If we click Add New Plugin right here and let's go to Popular, we can see that there are plugins for everything. Later, we'll be installing this plugin, which is going to help us make our website visually, but we can also see this plugin over here, which is a contact form that allows you to have a contact form on your website. And if we scroll down, we can see this plugin, which helps you with search engine optimization. It helps you rank higher in the search engines. And this one allows you to put a store on your website, and it goes on and on. There are thousands and thousands of plugins, and these are all free, and that's what makes WordPress beautiful. You can mix and match so many different plugins and create almost anything. But if we go to our plugins right now by just clicking on plugins, we can see all of these plugins already downloaded and installed on our website. This can be sort of annoying because it's like when you have a computer and you have all of these programs that you didn't want on your computer, or you have a phone and you have all of these apps that you didn't want on your phone. It's the same thing with these plugins. Sometimes the hosting companies install a whole bunch of junk on your website that you don't want. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of these plugins so that we're starting off fresh and clean and blank, not with a bunch of stuff that we don't want. We can, of course, install any of these later if we really wanted them. So let's delete all of them by just clicking this checkbox up here to select all of them, going up here, pressing deactivate and apply. And now all of your plugins are deactivated. Now we can check this box up here one more time and go up here and press delete, then apply. Then we can press OK, and now all of our plugins are deleted. Basically, all of those programs or all of those apps are now gone from your website. In order to go to the front end of your website, all you have to do is hover over this right here and click on it. This will transport you to the front end of your website. And even though we're logged in right now, it doesn't show that we're logged in because sometimes you have to press this refresh button. And now we have this black bar up here. This black bar shows that we're logged in. Our visitors don't see this black bar up here. This is just for us when we're logged in. So to get to the back end of your website, all you have to do is click up over here, and that will transport you back into the back end or the dashboard of your website. And we can go back and forth just by clicking on your website title up here. But we can see this website right here. It's not the best starting point. It has a bunch of different things like colors and pages that we don't need. Wouldn't it be great if we could just start off blank and fresh and clean so you can add all of your own things? And we can. There's a plugin called Super Blank, and it'll make a beautiful starting point for your website without all the unnecessary things. So let's go to the back end or dashboard of our website by clicking on this. You know how to do it already. So all we have to do is go down here and click on plugins and then press add new. Then we can search for a plugin. This plugin is called Super Blank, SUPERBLANK. And now we can see it right here. Then we can press install and we can press activate. Once this plugin is installed, we can see it over here and we can just click on it. Now it says Super Blank will erase your entire website and do all of these things. I'll explain it in just a second. So just go down here and type in Super Blank in order to enable it. And then we can press let's do this. Now it's going to do a whole bunch of things to set up your website. So we can just click on view website once it's ready. And now we can see we have a blank and beautiful starting point. This looks much better and is a much easier way to start than doing it from scratch, but it also has the benefit of not having all of these extra colors and extra things that you don't want. So it set up our homepage, our about page, and we can take a look at it, our contact page, and it even has a contact form that it set up for us. This cool button up here, and this logo, quote unquote, right here. So we can exit out of here, and we can see that it also made it mobile friendly. So it just does a whole bunch of things to save you a whole bunch of time. So let's see some other things that it did. We can go to our backend right here by clicking on the title of our website. And if we go to pages, we can see that it's added 3 pages, the home, about, contact. Of course, we can change these later. If we go to posts, which is like blog post, it deletes all of them so we don't have extra things on our website. And if we go to plugins down here, we can see that it's added not only Super Blank, which is what we added, but also Elementor, which is a visual page builder, the most popular one in the entire world, and WP Forms. So when we're on that contact page, it has the contact form in it. Now that that's set up, let's go back to our dashboard and we can see that it's nice and clean and fresh and blank. So that's how you install Super Blank, and it makes setting up your website so much easier. The next thing that we're going to do is edit your title and tagline. You can see the title of your website right here, and it also shows up in the search engines and helps describe your website. To change your title, just go down here to settings and click on it. Now we can change our site title right here. Your site title is usually the name of your website or the name of your business. If your business was named Costco, you just put in Costco. I'm just going to put in create a website. For your tagline, this is what helps describe your website to people and search engines. So this can actually help you rank higher in the search engines. I could put in something like learn how to make a website because that describes what my website's about. I also made a tagline generator if you can't think of a tagline. So you can go up here and go to tyler.com/tagline-generator and press enter. And we can go down here and you can describe your website, basically describe what you do, and it'll give you some ideas. So maybe I like learn to build websites easily. I just click on it and it copies, and I can exit out of here and I can just paste it in there. Now I can scroll down and press save changes. And now we can see our title has changed right here. And if we go to our website, we can see our new title right here. And if we hover over this tab, we can see the title, create a website, and the tagline, learn to build websites easily. All right, so now that's perfect. We've changed our title and our tagline. The next thing that we're gonna do is probably the fun part, probably the part that you've been waiting for, and that's actually editing your website. To do that, all we have to do is click on Edit with Elementor. Once that baby loads, we can see this, and it might look a little overwhelming at first, but it's really not. It's super simple. Whatever we click on over here, we can edit over here. If we want to delete something, let's say we wanted to delete this subheadline right here, all we have to do is right click and press delete. To change our headline, this is the text that grabs your attention. All we have to do is click over here, and then we can edit over here. Then we can type in something like nature is home. Then for the text under the title, all we have to do is click on it, and we can go over here and we can just type or paste whatever we want. After we do that, we can change our button. The button is used like a call to action. It wants to motivate you to do something. So maybe we want to motivate them to get in touch. We can type that in right here. And then we want that to link to our contact page. And if we start typing in contact, because this page already exists, it's going to show up and we can just click on it. Now, if a user clicks on the Get in Touch button, it'll go to the contact page. Fantastic. We're doing great. The next thing that we're going to do is change this background image. To change this entire section right here, all we have to do is click on these 6 dots up here and then go to Style because we're changing the way this looks. And then we can click and choose our image, then Upload Files and select Files. Then you can find your images on your computer. I've also included all of the images in the description below. So you can just download the zip file and then you can double click it to unzip it. And once you do that, you can open up your website again. And then we can find your folder and we can double click on it. And then we can find the home folder and we can double click on that. And then what we want to do is find the home hero image. The hero image is the top main image of your website. So we can just find it, click on it, and then press open. Then it's going to upload, and once it uploads, we can select our image, and bam, now our website looks completely different than it did just a second ago. But maybe I want this entire section to be larger. We can do that by making sure our container is selected, and then clicking on layout, and under minimum height, we can change this to pixels over here. And we can see over here how it got really small. But we can make this minimum height something like 700 pixels. And now we can see that it's much bigger, and to me that looks much better. Except this button right here is just a little bit too close to the mountain. So if we go to advanced, and we can see these two options for margin and padding. Margin is on the outside, so it'll put space away from this entire section, and padding is on the inside. So if we add 60 pixels of padding, then that will put 60 extra pixels of space towards the bottom, and that will push that button up. I don't like how this section goes on 2 lines, so we can click on it and then go to advanced, and for custom width, we can change that to be a little bit wider, maybe 600. Next, let's scroll down and edit these statistics right here. All we have to do is click on it and then just change the number. And we can also go down here and we can change this too. I think you guys get the point, so I'm just going to speed through this really quickly. There's nothing really new here to learn, so let's just use the magic of editing to make this real quick. Next, instead of services heading, let's put in our services, and we can scroll down and change each of these images. So just click on the first image and click choose image. Then we can upload files and select files. Let's click on our first services and then hold shift and click on our last services, and that will select everything. And then press open. Once those upload, we can choose the first services and press select. And bam, we see it right there. It'll look much better on the actual website. And we can do the same thing for pictures 2 and pictures 3. Next, we can just change the different services that we do, and we can put in a description. We can also change the button by just clicking on it, and maybe we'll put see details. And let's put in /services. So this will go to our website.com/services. And we haven't built this page yet, so it's not going to show up. But we are going to build a services page in the future. And so when we click on it, it'll go to our future services page. Now let's make our title and our description for each of these. But let's not do the button on any of them because we can just copy that button over. All right, once we're done with that, let's click on the button and let's actually change the style of it a little bit. So we can click on style. And here we can do something like change the color of the button by just going to color. And of course, we can change it to any color that we want. Let's make this button completely white, and actually let's make it see-through so we can see right through it. But now we can't see it, so let's change the text color. And let's actually choose a global color, which I'll explain in the next section. But basically, we'll be able to change our color in one place, and then all of the buttons will update. Next, we can add a border to our button by going down here, and under border type, let's do solid. And then we need to give it a width, so let's give it a width of 1, or we can give it a width of 2 or 3. 2 looks pretty good. And we can also give it a border radius, which is how rounded the edges are. If we put in 0, it'll be sharp. If we put in 100, it'll be as round as it can be. We can also just delete everything to go back to default. And bam, we have our nice cool button right here. But we don't want to do that for every single button. So let's just copy this over by right-clicking and press copy. And then right-click and press paste. Right-click and press paste. Then we can right-click and delete this one, and right-click and delete that one. Now we have 3 of the same buttons, and we didn't have to do all of that work over again. Super cool. Next, let's go down and let's edit our About section. The first thing that we can do is just change the heading to About Us. Then we can just click on this description and paste in or type in whatever we want. And after we do that, let's put in an image. We can just click on this. Go to choose image and upload files, then select files, and then find the home about and press open. Then we can wait for it to upload and press select. And now that image is in there. And let's go over here and let's change this button. We can put in something like discover more. And for the link, we want to link this to our about page. And because this page exists, if we just start typing about, it'll show up and we can click on it. And we can check out how our progress will look on our website by clicking on this little button. And we can see it just like we see it on our website. We might notice that this About Us is aligned with the top right here, but I want the entire section to be centered in the middle. And let's select this column only by pressing on this button right here. And then we can go down here and justify content in the center. Now, if we preview it, we can see that this entire section is centered within this image. And to me, that looks much better. All right, so we're done with this section. Let's scroll down to this testimonial section. And let's click on it and just paste in another testimonial right here. Then we can click on this image right here and we can choose image, then upload files and select files. And we can select our testimonial image and press open, then press select. Once that's in there, we can now change her name. So let's put in a name right here. I'm just going to paste one in. And for job title, instead of job title, I'm just going to put in that she's from Ohio, USA. Great. Once that's done, we can go to our call to action section, our final section, and just click on these 6 dots right here and then go over to style and choose image, upload files and select the call to action image right here. And then we can press open and we can press select. That is looking really good. Instead of having this description text right here, I just want the main text, so we can right click and press delete. And we can change this text just like we changed all other text by clicking on it, going over here and changing it. And now that looks pretty good, but it's actually too wide. It goes out too far and doesn't look that great. It's hard to read when it's so wide. So we can go to advanced and then go to width and put in custom. And let's put in 600, but not percent. Let's do 600 pixels. Or we can use the slider right here and just go up or down. But I'm just going to put in 600. All right, that's perfect. Let's click on the button and let's change it to get started now. And for the link, let's put in contact, and we see it and we can click on it. Then the spacing of the button is a little too close. So let's go to advanced and let's change the margin. Remember, margin is on the outside and padding is on the inside. So this is going to push it away. So we can add 20 or 30 or 40, and we can see that it's adding more space to the top of the button. Maybe we can do a little less. Let's add something like 10, and that's looking really good. Let's say we wanted this exact call to action on the bottom of our website for each and every page. So we can copy this entire section by saving it as a template. So let's click on these 6 dots right here and press Save as Template. And let's just call this CTA for call to action. And then we can press Save. Now that's saved and we can use it for later. All right, so we can exit out of there and we are done with this page. Let's go ahead and click on Publish to publish it. And we can check out our page by just removing all of this stuff. So it's just ourwebsite.com, and we can see we have a beautiful, beautiful page. That is looking really, really good. Okay, that was weird, but I'm keeping it in. The next thing that we're going to learn how to do is learn about the text and colors on our website. All we have to do is change it in one place and the colors and text will change everywhere. It's super cool. All we have to do is click on Customize and then click on Global, and then we can click on Typography. Typography is the same thing as text. So we can change the typography easily by clicking on any of these presets. And if we like any of them, then let's just choose one of these. We can also click on this reset button to go back to the typography before. If we scroll down, we can see body font. Body font is the basic font of the entire website. Right now, we can see that our website is using Enter, but we can do something crazy like rock salt, and we can see that our body font has changed. Not our headings yet, but our body font. Then we can exit out of there and go to our headings font, and we can change our headings font also. We can also do something crazy like Irish Grover or Island Moments, Italiano, or something absolutely insane like Rock 3D. And that looks absolutely crazy. But here are some of my favorite fonts. And you can put those fonts on your website and everything will change. I don't really recommend this font, but you have the option. Let's go back to our body font and let's use what we were using before. So I'm just going to type in Enter and choose that. And it was a regular weight. That's how bold something is. And then we can exit out of there. And for our headings font, we also used Enter. So we can type that in there. And we can also choose our font weight, which is how bold something is. So I'm just going to choose 600, and that looks pretty good. Now we can go back, and let's change the colors. So we have these different style options, and we can click on them, and it'll change the colors on our entire website. We can also access more colors by clicking on this pencil icon, and we can see that our colors have changed. This is super cool to be able to change all of your colors in one spot and have it update everywhere on your entire website. We can also change it to any colors that we want. We can just click on this style 1 and we can click on color 1 and we can change our color to any color that we want. If we like blue or green or pink, we can choose it and everything on the website that uses color 1 will change. To know which color changes what, we can refer to this chart right here. So for color 1, I already have my color. It's 10274B, and this will change the colors for all of the buttons. This 6-digit code is called a hex color. So whenever you get the perfect color, you can always remember it or write it down, and then you can use it everywhere on your advertising or anything else. Next, for color 2, this is our hover color. So when we're hovering over the button, it's going to change colors. Let's just make it a pink right now so you can see. Now, whenever we hover over that, it'll change to pink, but I have a color in mind, so let's just put it in. We can put in 36537E. That'll give us a lighter blue, and we can hover over it and see that it's changed. And now we can change color 3, which is the heading color. So like the big font on your website. We can see what it does by messing around and see that all of the headings have changed. And we can put in our own. This one is the same as the button color 1, and that's 10274B. And this gives us a really nice dark blue. So next is color 4, which is the font color. That's just all the smaller text on your website. And we can turn it into a green so that we can see what it's changing and we can look at our website. That is obviously not very good. So let's change it to the same as the heading, 10274B, and that's going to give us a dark blue, and that looks great. Next is color number 5, which is the special background. So we already have a background and it's white. This is the special background for different sections. Sometimes you need to alternate between white and a different color so you can distinguish the sections. So we can just change it and make it look crazy, and we see that the backgrounds change. But I have a color in mind, and that's E1F1F5. That's going to give us a really nice light blue, and that looks really nice. Next is color number 7, which is the button text. So not the button background, but the text of the button. And we can just play around with it and we can see that that changes. But we can just keep it white because I think that looks nice. For button color 6, this is the main background, and we probably won't be changing it too much, but we can see it. If we make it like a red, we can see that it looks a little crazy. This could be useful if you want like a dark mode black website, but I think white looks good on the majority of websites. And for the borders, we don't really need to change that. And color number 9 is not used. So you can use global color 9 and make it any color you want, and then keep on reusing it throughout your website. And then you just need to change it in one place and it'll get updated everywhere on your website. So that's it for global colors. We can go back and we can also change our global buttons if we click on buttons. So we have this padding right here, and we can change the padding number, and that will basically change the space inside of the button. I don't think we really need to do that right now, but it is an option. For the border radius, we can put in a number right here, but it's not going to change because there's a little glitch. But if you pressed publish and looked at your website, you would see that the edges of the buttons would be sharp instead of rounded. It's just not updating right here right now. We can put in 100 to make the edges look as round as possible. So that's about it. We can go back and we can publish all of those changes. Now all of those changes and all of those colors will be saved and updated across our entire website. Let's take a look at it. The home page is looking good. We can see the about page has those blue colors in it, and the contact page has the colors and it has that special blue background right there. Let's go back to our home page. And now you've mastered the colors of your website. And the next thing that we're going to learn how to do is how to edit the About page. To edit any page, all we have to do is click on it, and then we can click on Edit with Elementor. So just like before, we can click on anything and change it. Let's change this to About Us, and we can click on the subheadline and change that too. We can see that that's a little bit too wide, so we can click on Advanced, and then for width, we can click on Custom. And for custom width, let's keep it at 520, and let's put it in the center so that it goes back to being centered. Next, let's add in an image so that it looks nice. Let's click on these 6 dots up here and go to Style, and then click Choose Image, and we can upload files and select files. And this is for our About page. So let's click on About, and let's do About Hero, and let's open it up. Then we can press Select to insert it, and the image will show up just like that. If you wanted to move this entire section up, we could do that by going to Advanced and adding more space to the bottom. So under padding, we can put in 50 and that'll move the entire section up. Next, let's scroll down and change this image right here. We can click on it, click on Choose Image, Upload Files, and Select Files. And this is our About Mission. Then we can press Open and we can press Select and it'll insert it right there. Let's change this heading to Our Mission, and let's click on this text down here and we can change it over here. We can add in a paragraph by pressing Enter, or we can press Shift Enter if we want a smaller paragraph. Now let's change the button by going over here and clicking on it, and we want this text to maybe say Contact Us, and we want to link it to our contact page, so just start typing it in and choose the page. Next, we can see this entire Our Mission section isn't aligned in the center of this image. The Our Mission is near the top. So what we can do is we can click on this column and then go over here, and under Justify, we can press Center. Now this entire section right here will be centered in the middle of this image. What if we also want this Our Mission section to be on the left side and the image to be on the right side? We can do that too. Let's go all the way up here and click on this button. This is for the structure of the website. So you can see all of the different containers and all of the headings and the text editor. And what we can do is we can collapse these two right here, and we can just click, hold, and drag them around, and we can swap them just like that. We can exit out of the structure. We don't need it right now. And let's scroll down and let's do something really fun. Let's add an entire new section to our website. So all we have to do is click on this plus button, then we can click on plus again, and then click on Flexbox and the down direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a video to this section right here, but obviously you could add anything that you want. You can build anything. So let's just click on this plus right here, and then we can add any of these things. And there are tons and tons of things we could add here. We can add a heading or an image or a text box. Let's click on video, and you can copy any video URL from YouTube and you can paste it in right here. But I think this video goes too wide, so we can click on Advanced and then under Width, go to Custom, and instead of %, let's do pixels, and let's make it 800 pixels wide. And let's make the video go in the center. Then we can go to Content and let's make it start at a certain time. Let's make it start at 156 seconds. And I think that there's not enough space, so let's click on the entire section right here. And then we can go to Advanced, and for padding, let's unlink the values so that they can be different. And let's put in 100 on the top and 100 on the bottom to add 100 pixels of space at the top and 100 pixels of space at the bottom. Now we can see it has much more breathing room. Let's add a little background to it by going to Style, and under Background Type, let's do Classic, and let's choose our color right here. Let's go with that light blue color 5. That's our special background color. To preview what we did, we can click on this little button right here, and we can see it. We can see that it starts at 156 seconds. And this is looking awesome. We have a video on our About page. Let's take it a step further though. Let's click on this button to edit our website, and let's make this video in the background of our website. So it's always playing without sound, and that will give our website a super cool look. So let's go over here to this pencil and right click and delete the video. And let's click on these 6 dots for the entire section, and then go to Advanced, and let's get rid of the padding. So let's go to 0 and 0 for the top and bottom. And then we can click on Layout, and for the minimum height of this section, let's do 600 pixels. And now let's add the video. We can go to Style, and then we can click on this little video button. We can paste in any YouTube video, and we can add our start time to 156 seconds. Let's open that up, and that looks really great. To get your own video on your website, all you'd have to do is upload your video first to YouTube, and then just copy and paste the URL right into your website, just like we did here. I think this is probably one of the coolest effects that there is. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to scroll down and we're going to exit out of here. And we're going to insert that saved call to action section that we saved from our homepage by clicking on this folder right here and then going to My Templates up here, and let's insert it. This is looking great. Next, we can publish this right here, and let's open up a new tab and go to our website, and let's go to the About page. And we can see that this is looking fantastic. You guys learn how to add a new section, how to swap columns, and how to add video to your website. Of course, if you didn't want that video there, we can exit out of there, and we can exit out of there. And now that video is gone. And then we can publish that, and you can change your website that easily. Let's go back to our main website.com, and let's go to the About, and we can check it out, and it's looking great.
Congrats, you made the About page. You clicked around, you're on your way.
This AI music is hilarious. The next thing that we're going to do is create an entire new page. This can be any page that you want, but I'm going to create a services page. So all you have to do is click on the title of your website, and then we can go to Pages, and we can click Add New Page. We can call this page Services or anything that you want, and then just click Publish, and then click Publish one more time, and now you have a new page on your website. Then to edit your page easily, let's click on this Edit with Elementor right here, and you can begin editing your site just like normal. But you don't want to start off with just an empty website, but you also don't want to start off with the template with all of the colors and everything. And this is why Super Blank is super cool, because it adds this little icon right here, and we can click on it, and then we have all of these different options of inserting a page. We can go to Services and just click on the first one, and that page will be inserted in 1 second. And then we can edit it just like normal. We'll turn services into our services. Then we can click on the subheadline and change it over here just like we did before. And we can go to advanced and make it less wide. Then we can center our text so it looks great. And let's add our background image by clicking on these 6 dots over here, then going over here and clicking on Style, choosing an image, Upload Files, and Select Files. Then clicking on Services, and let's add our Services hero. Then press Open, wait for that to upload, and press Select. Once that is done, we can add a little space by going to Advanced. And then under padding, we can add 50 to the bottom to push all of that up. Then we can scroll down and describe what we do. Maybe we do web design. And then below it, we can describe what kind of web design we do. So we can just put that in right here. And of course, we can change the button because we want them to contact us if they are interested in our services. And we can change the link to go to contact. We just start typing it and it'll show up and we can click on it. Next, we can change the image just like we normally do by clicking on it, choosing image, uploading files and selecting files, finding the service one and opening it up. Then press select and it'll insert right in there. And we can scroll down and do the same for all of them. Maybe for this one, we do graphic design. And we can paste in some text and we can change the image. We can upload our file and select it and it'll go right in there. Then we can press open just like before. Then for the button, we can scroll up and we can right click and copy this one and then go down and right click and paste it. Then we can delete the old button, and now we don't have to do all of that work again. For the third and final one, maybe we do content creation. This usually wouldn't be on 2 lines, but since we're editing it, it's a little bit smaller, but it'll look normal on our regular website. So we can just paste in our description right here, and we can change that image. You already know how to do this. And let's copy and paste that button one more time. And then we can delete the other button. Finally, let's get rid of this old call to action. And let's click on this folder, then go to My Templates and insert our other call to action. Great, let's scroll up and let's press Publish to publish our new services page. Now we can go to our website by just removing everything, and going to our website.com. But we have a little problem. We know that we built a services page, but we don't see a services page in this menu up here. So to add a page to the menu is pretty easy. All we have to do is click on our website name to go into the back end. Then we can go to Appearance, and then we can go to Menus. Once we do that, we want to make sure that the primary menu is selected. That is the menu on top. The other menu, the footer menu, is the one on the bottom. Once we do that, we can find our page over here and just click Add to Menu. Now we can see it. We can click, hold, and drag it around, and that will change the order that the menu items show up in. If you indent a menu item under another menu item and press Save Menu, that will turn it into a submenu. So we can visit our website by opening a new tab, and we can see that this is now a submenu. So this is a menu item under another menu item. If we go back, we can of course undo that and just make it a regular menu item by just making it so that it's not indented. Then we can save the menu by clicking on Save Menu, and we can check that out. We of course have to refresh the page, and now we can see the Home, About, Services, and Contact in that order right here. Of course, you can add any page that you can think of. Here are some popular pages. So that's how you add a new page to your menu. And now anyone can click on it and go to that page. We can exit out of this because we don't need it anymore. And it's as easy as that. I think that's pretty cool. And the next page that we're going to edit is our contact page so that people can get in contact with you. So all we have to do is click on Contact and click just like normal, Edit with Elementor. And maybe we'll change this to Contact Us. And down here we can just type in or paste in our text. Then we can change the image just like we did before by clicking on these 6 dots, going to Style, choosing our image, uploading our image, selecting files, and choosing the right file. We're in the contact image section right now. And we can select the file and press Open, wait for it to upload, and then press Select. Now we have the image there. We can move it all up by going to Advanced and adding more padding to the bottom that will push that entire section up. We've already done this, that's why I'm going faster. Then we can scroll down and we can change some text. Maybe we want this to say something like Get in Touch. And let's go ahead and change the phone number right here. Let's add in another phone number. And a cool thing that we can do is we can do TEL : and then put our phone number. And now when you're on mobile or on the computer, if someone clicks on it, it'll open up to call. And then for the email, we can change that right here and just put in your email. And we can also do the same thing with the email actually. If we put in mail to, and then : and then the email address. Now when someone clicks on it, it'll open up their default mail app. Next, we can change our address. It's just like changing anything, so that's pretty simple. And we can scroll down and we can see these social media icons. On the left side, you can click on any of them and add your social media icons, or we can just right click and delete this. If we want, we can change the background of this section by clicking on the column and then going to Style and then going to Color and choosing whatever color we want. If we press clear, it'll turn white, but that looks a little bit crazy. And that's because we don't have a border around the different fields, but I'll show you how to add a border around the different fields. But I'm just going to go back and do theme color 5 because that was our special background color. Now that that's done, let's edit this map down here. This isn't a real map, so let's exit out of there to delete it. And then we can press the plus button to add a new section. And let's go with Flexbox, and for direction, let's press down. Then we can press on this plus to add a map, and we can search for map over here. Once we find the Google map, we can click, hold, and drag it over, or just click on it and it'll add it. Then we can change the address to anything that you want, and we can change the zoom level that will change how far it's zoomed in or out. We can also change the height of the map, which is very useful right here. I'm just going to put in 360 pixels. We can see the map doesn't go all the way across our website. There's a tiny gap. So what we can do is we can click on these 6 dots And for content width, we can make it full width. That will make it go all the way across, but there's still a small gap. So we can go to advanced and padding, we can put 0. And now if we open it up and preview it, you can see that it goes all the way across without any gaps. That looks perfect. And this map is pretty cool. You can interact with it and just drag it around or zoom. I think if you have a location, this is a nice feature to have. Let's open this back up. And the next thing that I want to do is show you how to edit this form right here so that you can change it however you want. All you have to do is click on the form, and then over here you can press edit the selected form. To change the basic styling, we can go to style up here, and we can change the way it looks right here, like adding a border so that it looks good on a white background. But I like the way the clear background looks, so I'm just gonna make it black and then make it clear. Okay, once we know how to do that, let's click on content to edit the actual form, and then we can click on edit the selected form. Now this is a different way of editing because this form is a plugin. This is the WP Forms plugin, and so it's not a part of Elementor. So this will pop up right here, and then we can edit the form, and once we do that, it'll update on the page. Let's just make a few simple edits. If we wanted a number or something for people to tell us how much their budget is or to give us another number, we can click this right here. And this will only accept actual numbers as the input. But let's say I wanted to add a phone number. I wouldn't use this because there's dashes and parentheses and things like that that sometimes people put in for their phone number. So to add a phone number, I'm just going to do single line text. And we can just click, hold, and drag that wherever we want it. Once we do that, let's click on it and let's edit some settings. So for the label, I want to say phone number. We can either make it required or not required. This way, they won't be able to submit the form unless it's filled out. And let's make this look better by going to advanced and making this large so it goes all the way across. Let's add placeholder text so that there's text in it. And then we can hide the label so that we don't see the label, we only see that placeholder text. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Now if we click on save and we open up a new page and we go to our contact page by going to ourwebsite.com/contact, we can see that the page isn't changed because we didn't save it yet, but that contact form is changed because we did save that. And we can see that it's looking really clean and sleek with that phone number in there. All right, let's exit out of there and let's actually delete this right here. We don't need it, and press OK. Then we can simply save that. And if we go to settings over here, we can change this name right here. So maybe we want it to be named contact form instead of simple contact form. And then we can click on notifications. This is how it's going to send all of the information that's filled out to our email. So once somebody fills out your contact form, it's going to email you all of the information that they filled out. It has this code admin email because it's going to use your WordPress admin email, which is just the email that you signed up to send it. Of course, you can change the from name. That's who it's sending it from. So you can just put yourwebsite.com. And for the from email, I would put no reply at yourwebsite.com. Just keep it as it is. Sometimes it'll have issues sending if this isn't in there. This reply to code right here, it's going to take their email that they filled out and put it as the reply to field. It'll make a lot more sense when I show you in just a second when I fill out this form. We can also go over to confirmations and we can change the message that shows up after they filled out the form. Okay, so let's save that and let's exit out of here and let's publish this page so it saves all of the changes. All right, let's go to our website's contact page and we can see all of those changes. Those look really, really nice. And we can also fill out this form. So your name, email, and message, and then submit it. And remember the email is hello@tyler.com. So that's basically like what your users would fill out. And now we can see this, thank you for contacting us. We will be in touch with you soon. So we changed this message right here in the notifications. So let's go check out what it sent us. So it shows the user's name right there, the user's email, and the message. And if we click on reply, that's where that reply to is. So it's going to reply to that email. All right, so that's working perfect. We can exit out of there and let's go to our homepage by clicking on our website title. So congrats, now you've made the contact page. Now people can get in contact with you. And the next thing that we're going to do is create your logo. This is super exciting if you don't already have your logo. We're going to be using AI to create it. All you have to do is open up a new tab and go to logomaker.com. That's LOGOMAKR without the E.com and press enter. Then we can click on AI Logo Generator. And once we do that, we can put in our company name and press generate. After that's done, we can describe what our business does. I'm just going to put in that I make websites for people and then press next. And here's the tone of your image. You can go with happy or mystical or playful. I'm going to go with adventure, but maybe you don't have any icons in mind, so you can get some suggestions. So I'm just going to say I need some suggestions, and it'll give me some really cool suggestions. I actually do have my own idea for what I want, so I'm going to enter in my own image idea. And if you know me or you've watched this channel a lot, you'll know that I love mountains. So that's what I'm going to put in here. A simple looking mountain and a sun behind it, and we can click on next. Then it's going to ask us what style do we want. Do we want it to be realistic or an icon or vintage or cartoon? I'm going to go with line art just to make it super simple, but I also really like colored pencils. Then it's going to ask us our colors. What colors do we want? Usually I have it choose for me, but today since our website is kind of bluish, I'm going to go with the aquas. And then we can review everything and we can generate an original logo. This is using the highest tech AI image generators to craft you a logo that no one has ever seen ever before. And if you don't love your first version, you can go down here and you can make another one. Or if you're psychotic like me, maybe you'll do a few to get it just right. Ah, there it is. We finally reached perfection. You can also go into your history and see all the ones that you've already made. And we can click on the one that we want and we can just start a new design. Okay, this is looking really cool. You could edit this image and add text to it, but I think I want my website to sort of look like Apple's website with just their logo in the header. I think that's really cool. So that's what I'm going to do. What we want to do is click this crop over here, and then we can drag the crop to the center, and we can make the image as big as possible within this crop. That's looking great. Now all we have to do is click on save. Then we can click on download low resolution PNG file. And we can put in our email right here. Then we can accept the terms and send the file to email. So now that image was sent to our email, but I want to make another image, and this image is for our site icon. Our site icon is this little icon up here, and it helps identify your site when you have a whole bunch of tabs open. But our logo is a little too complex for the site icon. It won't look good. We need something super simple. So let's exit out of here and let's make something else. So I'm just going to click on this and press delete to delete it. And then up here, I'm going to search for a sun. So we can find a really simple sun icon. And once we click on it, it'll be added to the canvas. Then we can press this crop button over here and let's move this crop to the center. And then we have to make it perfectly square because the site icon is perfectly square. So let's just make it 200 by 200 and then click the check mark to apply it. Now we can drag that logo right into the box and let's make it as big as possible so that our icon shows as big as possible. And let's go over here and change the color. Obviously, you can make it any color that you want. I'm just going to go with this yellow. Once that's done, we can once again save it and then download the low resolution PNG file. And PNG is super cool because it's transparent. Then we can put in our email once again and accept the terms and send file to email. If you want the super high resolution vector image, vector means it's based off of math and it'll never get blurry or fuzzy, you can download the profiles right here. So we can just click on this and we can see it. I love supporting companies that are awesome, and this is an awesome service. All right, let's exit out of there and let's go to our email. And once we're in our email, we can download the first file right here. And I'm just gonna click, hold, and drag this to my desktop. And I'm going to find the other site icon file right here and also click, hold, and drag this to my desktop. Now that that's done, we can exit out of here and we can exit out of our email. And congratulations, you've now learned how to make a logo and your site icon. And the next thing that we're going to learn how to do is change this entire header up here, including all of the colors and the buttons, and how to put in your logo. To do that, all we have to do is click on Customize up here and then go to Header Builder. Then maybe the first thing that we want to do is change the entire height of this header. So we can click on this gear icon and then go over to height and we can change it. I personally like keeping it really small, so I'm just going to keep it as 30. But the next thing that we can do is change the background of this entire section. So we can click on Design, and under Background, we can change the color to anything that we want. We can choose any color of the rainbow. We can even make it a gradient, which means it goes from one color to the next. And we can play around with that, and that is super cool. Stripe.com does something like this on their website, and I think it looks pretty cool. But we're just going to keep it simple and reset that back to white. But how do we change this menu color? It's super easy. All we have to do is click on this primary menu right here and then go to Design over here. We have all of these different options, but the main one I think is the menu color. So we can change it right here and you can make it any color you want. We can also reset it to go back to what we had originally. And that's how you change the menu color. Now for the exciting part, this button up here, we can just click on it and then over here we can change the text. Maybe we want it to say Contact Us. And when someone clicks on it, they can go to the contact page. So we would have to put in our link as /contact. And obviously we would have to go to Appearance, then Menus, and get rid of this extra contact link right here. Or maybe we want to add our phone number. So we can put in our phone number. And then for the link, we can once again do TEL : and then the phone number. And then when you're on mobile or even desktop, when you click on it, it'll click to call. I think that's a super cool feature. To change the design of the button, all we have to do is click on Design. And then you can change the text color. And we can copy this code right here. This is the hex code, so we can get that exact color. And then we can change the border color. And we can paste in that code so that it's consistent. And we can see we have this kind of crazy green that doesn't really go with our website, so we can reset that. But that's how you change the button color if you want to change it. Next is the border width, and we can make it no width to get rid of that border, or we can make it really thin, or we can make it really thick. That's how you change the border width. And for border radius, that's again how rounded it is. We can change them all individually, or we can change all of them to the same thing. But I like it rounded, so I'm just going to delete everything, and that will make it rounded. We can also change the padding right here, which is how much space is inside of the button, basically making it bigger or smaller. But I like the way it is right now. All right, now let's upload our new logo. Let's click on Site Title and Logo, and we can press Select Logo, and then Upload Files. And we can either select our files or just click, hold, and drag our logo and site icon right here. Then we can select our logo and press Select, and we can skip cropping because we want the entire logo in there. So that's going to show our logo in there, but it's a little bit too big because it also has our text in there. And we can solve this a couple different ways. We can click Inline Logo and Site Title, and that will put our text right beside our logo. And this would actually look fine, and there would be enough space if I wasn't editing right now. But because of this sidebar, it kind of squishes everything. What we also could have done is make that text smaller, or we can hide that text altogether and make that visibility go away by clicking on these buttons. I think this is the solution that I want. This is like Apple's website where they just have that logo up there. I think that's kind of cool. You can also change the logo width to whatever you want. You can make it bigger or smaller. I'm just going to keep it at about 90. But we can see even when we reduce the logo width, it still has a little bit too much space up here for me. We can change that by clicking on this gear icon here and then going to Design. and changing the padding. So we don't need this padding on the top and we don't need this padding on the bottom. Right now there's a little glitch and we don't see it updating, but it will update on the website if we click on publish. The next thing that I want to do is change our site icon. Right now it has the W for WordPress, but obviously we want our own. So let's just click on our site title and logo once again. And then we can go over here and scroll down and we can see site icon and just click on it. Once we do that, we can click on select site icon and we can select it from right here because we already uploaded it. And we can preview what it would look like right here, which looks really awesome. And we can skip cropping. Now we can see this awesome site icon that'll help people identify your site if there was a bunch of tabs open. Your site icon also shows up in search engines, and it also shows up when you text somebody. Like if you text somebody your website, your site icon will show up right there. And to me, that is looking really, really beautiful. So you can click publish and exit out of there. Now you know how to design your header and how to put your logo up there. The next thing that we're going to do is edit your footer. Your footer is at the bottom of your website, like your feet. And I can show you how to change this menu, how to change this logo, and how to change this copyright information. First, let's change this menu right here. We already know how to do it, so I'm going to go through it a little quicker. We can click on the title of our website to go into the back end, and then go to Appearance and Menus. Once we do that, we can select the footer menu, and then we can change the menu just like we learned before. So that's how you would change the menu. Now let's click on the title of our website to go back to the front end. And let's scroll down to the footer area. And then we can go up here and click on Customize. Once we do that, we can go down here and click on Footer Builder. This is how we edit the footer. And if we wanted to change like the footer menu colors, we can click on the footer menu. But I like the way the colors are now. What I want to do is change this logo, and this logo corresponds with this HTML1. And if you wanted to put in text, you can just put in your text right here, something like your website, and you can change the font size and everything else. But what I really want to do is put in our logo right here. I think that'll look super cool. So what I can do is delete everything and then press this plus button right here and go to Add Media. And now we can select our logo and press Insert into Post. And after we do that, we can resize it. Maybe I'll make it something like 90 wide. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can click on the center button down here so that it stays centered. Usually when someone clicks on a logo, they go back to the home page, but our image isn't linked to our home page right now. So what we have to do is click on this pencil icon, and instead of link to none, we want to link to a custom URL. Then we can just put in a /, and that will take us to our home page. And we can just press update to update that. Now we have this beautiful logo in there, and when anyone clicks on it, it'll take them back to the home page. The next thing that we can do is change this copyright information. You don't want it to say super blank, and you want it to be the current year. So all we have to do is click on it, and we can change it right here. We can put in something like your website. If we wanted to, we can change the background by clicking on this gear icon and then going to design, and we can change the background color. And obviously we can change it to whatever we want. We can choose any of the colors in the rainbow. We can even choose a gradient if we want, or we could even put an image back there. But I'm going to reset that because I just want it to be normal. After we edit it to our liking, we can click on publish and save all of those changes. And now you know how to change your footer, and it is looking really, really great. We can click on any of the links down here and we can visit any page. And we can also click on the logo down here to go to the home page. Super great work. We are done learning how to edit the footer. The next thing that we're going to learn how to do is how to make a transparent header. This is more of like an extra credit A+ student type of thing, but I think it's super cool, but definitely not required. So to make a transparent header on any page, all you have to do is visit that page and then click on Edit Page up here, and we can access it from two places, this icon up here or sometimes it's where these 3 dots are right here. Then we can click on Astra Settings. And if we scroll down a little bit and go to Advanced Settings, for transparent header, we can press Enabled. Then we can exit out of there and we can press Save. Now we can go to ourwebsite.com by just removing all of this, and we can see we have a beautiful transparent header. The logo is also transparent and it looks really great. If you're going to make a transparent on each of the pages, you might want a bigger image so that it's a little bit longer. So what we can do is we can click Edit with Elementor and then click on these 6 dots and go to Style and choose Image. Then we can upload files and select files, and we can choose our Home Hero Transparent. This image is just a little bit taller so that it just has a little more space at the top. All right, and then we can press Open, and we can wait for it to upload and then press Select. Now the actual image is taller, but the section is the same size. So what we can do is we can make the section bigger by just going to Layout, and then for the min height, we can change that. And I think about 30 extra pixels is pretty good, but of course you can make it bigger or smaller. But I think I'm just gonna keep it at 700. And once we're done with that, we can click on Publish and we can go to our website by just removing all of that stuff. And we have ourselves a transparent header. But we can see if we go to the About page that this one is not transparent because we only made it transparent on a single page. That's usually kind of cool. Maybe you only want a transparent header on your homepage, which is super common. But let's say you wanted a transparent header on all of your pages. All you have to do is click on Customize and then go to Header Builder and then click on Transparent Header, and we can enable on Complete Website. And then click on Publish, and let's open up a new tab and look at it. We can see that it's on the home page like normal, and we can see it's on the About page and the Services page and the Contact page. Obviously, we need to add more space in between all of this text, and we can easily do that by adding more padding to the top. But let's exit out of there and let's disable it right now so that we don't have a transparent header across our entire website and we only have it on our home page. Then we can click on Publish and we can exit out of there. And now we can see that it's only on the home page. So that was definitely some extra credit, but I think it really polishes off the website and looks super, super cool. So that's how you make a transparent header, and it's looking great. The next thing that we're gonna do is learn how to make your website mobile friendly. This is super important because at least half of the people that come to your website are gonna be coming from a mobile device. We can simulate a small screen by just squishing it down, and we can see that the content resizes to fit on a mobile device perfectly. By a mobile device, I basically just mean your phone. But the website is responsive, so it not only works on a phone, but it can work on a TV or an iPad or a tablet or anything else. We can see when the screen is small, it looks pretty good. It tries its hardest to make it look perfect. We get a mobile menu because the regular menu wouldn't fit, and a lot of things that were horizontal now become vertical. But there are things that just don't translate perfectly. We can see that there needs to be more space up here, but if we scroll down and keep on scrolling, we can see that the rest of the website is looking pretty good. It even makes this footer area look almost perfect. Let's go through the rest of the website and see if it looks good. This About page is looking great. We can open up the mobile menu and go to the Services page. And this Services page is looking really good. I really like that. Okay. And we can go to the Contact page. And this Contact page is looking awesome. So everything works really well except for that home page that doesn't look that great. We can open it back up to see the desktop version and click to go to our home page. And let's click on Edit with Elementor to change the home page for the mobile version. We can click on this icon to get the mobile view. And if we remember, we need more space up here. So let's click on the 6 dots right here and then go to Advanced. And we can see this icon right here. This means we're only editing the mobile version. And for padding, let's put in 150. No, that looks too big. Maybe 130. Then we can preview it by clicking on this button, and we can see that that's looking pretty good. Maybe not perfect. Maybe we need a little bit more. Maybe that 150 is actually where we needed it to be. All right, so let's put that in right there, and we can preview it, and that looks perfect. And let's open that back up, and that is basically how you change the mobile version of your website. We can do the same thing with this heading right here. We can click on it, we can go to style, and under typography, we can change the size. And because we see this mobile icon right here, it's only changing the size of the mobile version. We can do the same thing with the tablet version and change the different sizes or alignment. We can align some things to the left or to the right or to the center only for the tablet version or mobile version. And this just gives you such fine control over your website, and it really polishes it off and it makes it look perfect. Once we're done with that, we can go ahead and click on publish. And we can publish all of those changes. And then we can go to ourwebsite.com and we can simulate a mobile phone, and we can see we have a lot more space up here. All right, that is looking great. There's only one last thing to do, and it's completely optional, and that is to log out. We can log out so that we can view the website exactly how our users would view it by just hovering over our username and clicking on log out. Then we can remove all of this to go to the front end of your website, and bam, congratulations, you have created a website. You should be super proud of yourself. Most people would never even start and never even try, but you did it, and you can see that your website looks great. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. I'm Tyler Moore. Thank you so much.